Captain Luna Reeves never expected to find a dying alien in the wreckage of a research vessel. The crystalline ship drifted silently through the Andromeda sector, its hull fractured like broken glass. As her team's boots touched down on the vessel's surface, Luna's augmented vision detected faint life signs pulsing beneath the translucent panels. Movement detected in the central chamber, she reported to her crew. Proceeding with caution. The experimental enhancement drugs coursing through her system sharpened her senses, making every shadow and sound crystallize with startling clarity. Through the breach, they found destruction. Shattered equipment, scattered research materials, and in the center, a figure that made Luna's breath catch. The alien lay crumpled among the debris, their skin an impossible shade of opalescent white that seemed to ripple with internal light. Unlike the hostile drachnid species they usually encountered, this being appeared almost ethereal. "I'm reading severe cellular degradation," her medical officer, James, announced. "Whatever they are, they're dying." The alien's eyes opened, swirling pools of silver that fixed on Luna with desperate intelligence. "Help." The word echoed in Luna's mind rather than her ears. The research must not be lost. Luna knelt beside the fallen creature, her enhanced metabolism making her blood run hot and fast. "I'm Captain Luna Reeves of the Earth Federation. We'll do everything we can." "I am Nixis," the alien projected weakly, last of the Lumini research team. "Our work could bridge the gap between our kinds. But I'm failing. Need genetic stabilization." James shook his head. "Captain, their cellular structure is completely breaking down. Nothing in our medical supplies can help." Luna studied Nixis's diminishing form. The Lumini were legendary geneticists, having mastered the art of biological adaptation. Their isolation from other species made encounters rare. Now one lay dying before her, along with potentially groundbreaking research. "What do you need exactly?" Luna asked, her enhanced mind racing through possibilities. "Fresh genetic material, specifically blood, with adaptive properties," Nixis managed. Their skin was becoming increasingly transparent. "Your enhancements might be compatible." Luna's hand moved to the injection port at her neck, the access point for her experimental combat drugs. The same enhancements that made her stronger, faster, more resilient. "My blood." "Captain, we don't know how their biology will react with yours," James protested. "The risk is mine to take," Luna finished. She'd always believed that humanity's greatest strength was their willingness to reach out, to help, to connect, even across the stars. "How do we do this?" Nixis's silver eyes seemed to brighten. "Direct transfer, but the process is intimate. Our species shares consciousness during genetic exchange. You would experience everything." Luna began removing her gauntlet. "Then I better pay attention." She extended her bare arm. "Show me." Nixis's touch was like ice and electricity combined. As their skin connected, Luna felt the world dissolve into pure sensation. Images, memories, and knowledge flowed between them. The vast history of the Lumini, their mastery of genetics, their desperate search for compatible species to save them from extinction. And underneath it all, a loneliness that echoed Luna's own. The transfer lasted minutes but felt like lifetimes. When awareness returned, Luna found herself supported by James, her body trembling from the intensity of the exchange. Before them, Nixis's form had solidified, their skin now bearing a subtle rose-gold tint that hadn't been there before. The transfer was successful. Nixis projected, their mental voice stronger. "But something unexpected has occurred. Your enhanced genetics, they're extraordinary. The adaptation is progressing far beyond simple stabilization." Luna could feel it, a tingling awareness of Nixis that hadn't faded with the transfer's end. "What's happening?" "A true symbiosis," Nixis replied with wonder. "In all our research, we never." They stopped, silver eyes widening. "Captain, your cellular structure is changing." Luna looked at her hands, watching in fascination as her skin took on a subtle luminescence. She could feel new awareness blooming in her mind, enhanced senses beyond even her augmentations, and a deep connection to the being before her. Well, she managed, a smile tugging at her lips despite the situation. I guess first contact just got a lot more interesting. The quarantine bay of the Earth Federation ship Helios hummed with activity as medical staff monitored the unprecedented changes occurring in both Luna and Nixis. Through the observation window, Admiral Harrison watched with growing concern as his best captain's skin continued to emit a subtle glow. The symbiosis is accelerating, Dr. Way reported, studying the holographic readings floating before her. Captain Reeves's enhanced genetics aren't just stabilizing the Lumini's cellular structure. They're creating something entirely new. Luna sat on the edge of her bed, fascinated by the way light seemed to flow beneath her skin. Across the room, Nixis mirrored her position, their silver eyes fixed on her with equal wonder. The mental connection between them had only grown stronger in the hours since the transfer. Their consciousness patterns are synchronizing, Dr. Way continued. Brain activity shows perfect harmonic resonance. We've never seen anything like it. Because it was never supposed to happen, Nixis projected, their thoughts now clear and strong in Luna's mind. My people spent centuries searching for compatible species, yet we never imagined. They trailed off as another wave of change rippled through both their bodies. Luna gasped as new sensations flooded her awareness. She could feel the ship's electromagnetic field, taste the subtle variations in the recycled air, hear the quantum fluctuations in the drive core. This is incredible, she breathed. It's dangerous, Admiral Harrison countered. We have no idea how far these changes will progress. You're our best tactical commander, Luna. We can't risk losing you to some alien transformation. With respect, Admiral. Luna stood, her movements now carrying an ethereal grace. I don't feel like I'm losing anything. I'm gaining understanding beyond what any human has experienced. The Lumini aren't just advanced geneticists. They're evolutionary architects. What's happening between us could revolutionize human enhancement technology. She speaks truth. Nixis moved to stand beside her, their forms now similar in their otherworldly luminescence. The adaptation has already surpassed our most ambitious research goals. Through Luna's enhanced blood, we've achieved true biological synthesis. Dr. Way's instruments chimed urgently. Energy readings are spiking in both subjects. Some kind of quantum cellular reaction. Luna felt it building. A surge of power that made her experimental combat enhancements seem primitive by comparison. Her consciousness expanded, merging with Nixis's vast knowledge of genetic science. In that moment of connection, she understood what they were becoming. We're evolving, she announced, her voice carrying harmonic overtones that made the observation windows vibrate. The combination of Lumini adaptive capabilities and human enhancement drugs is creating a positive feedback loop. Each change triggers further adaptation, which could kill you both, Harrison argued. We need to find a way to stop this before. The ship's alarm klaxons cut him off. Multiple Drachnid vessels detected on an intercept course, the AI announced. Battle stations. Luna's enhanced senses immediately grasped the tactical situation. The Drachnids must have detected the unique energy signature of their transformation. Given the hostile species' obsession with genetic purity, a human-alien hybrid would be an abomination to them. They're after us, she realized. They want to destroy any evidence that humans and aliens can successfully merge. Then they will fail, Nixis declared, their mental voice fierce. What we've created transcends their limited understanding of evolution. Luna turned to Harrison, her silver-tinged eyes holding his gaze. Admiral, let us help. The Drachnids want to prevent change. Let's show them just how powerful change can be. Harrison studied them both, his most talented captain and the alien scientist, now transformed into something both beautiful and terrifying. Finally, he nodded. The bridge is yours, Captain. Show me what you can do. As Luna and Nixus moved in perfect synchronization toward the bridge, their shared consciousness already formulating battle strategies, Luna felt a fierce joy. The Drachnids thought themselves superior in their genetic purity. They were about to learn that true strength came from adaptation, from reaching across the stars to connect with something different. The future of both their species might depend on what happened next, but Luna had never felt more ready for a fight. Together, they would prove that evolution wasn't about maintaining boundaries. It was about breaking them. The bridge of the Helios thrummed with nervous energy as Luna and Nixus took their positions. Their merged consciousness expanded through the ship's systems, their enhanced perception transforming the tactical display into a symphony of light and data. The approaching Drachnid fleet appeared as dark wounds in the fabric of space. 12 warships in attack formation, their weapons already charged. Multiple targeting locks detected. The tactical officer reported, his voice tight with tension. "They're not even hailing us." "They wouldn't," Luna responded, her voice carrying those strange harmonic overtones that made the crew's skin tingle. The Drachnids believe in absolute genetic purity. What we represent is anathema to their entire civilization. Through their shared awareness, Nixus added depth to Luna's understanding. Images flowed between them. Centuries of Drachnid genetic cleansing campaigns, whole species deemed impure reduced to ash and memory. Their rigid ideology had made them powerful but predictable. "Their ships are faster, better armed," Harrison noted from his position near the tactical station. "We're outgunned." Luna felt a smile curve her lips as another wave of transformation rippled through her body. By conventional standards, perhaps, but we're no longer bound by conventional limitations. She turned to Nixus, their silver eyes meeting in silent communication. "Show them what we've become." The Lumini scientists raised their hands, now glowing with internal light. Luna mirrored the gesture, feeling their combined consciousness reach out through the ship's systems. The Helios's quantum core resonated with their enhanced biology, creating harmonics that shouldn't have been possible. "Engineering reports unusual power fluctuations," the systems officer announced. "The quantum drive is evolving." "Impossible," Harrison breathed, watching as patterns of light began flowing through the ship's hull like luminous blood through veins. "What are you doing?" "What the Lumini have always done," Nixus projected, their mental voice filled with fierce joy. "We're adapting. Evolution isn't just about biology. It's about transcending limitations. Through Luna's enhanced genetics, we can extend that principle to technology itself." The Drachnid fleet opened fire, a barrage of energy weapons that would have torn a normal ship apart. But the Helios moved with impossible grace, its hull now shimmering with the same opalescent light that marked Luna and Nixus's transformation. The attacks dissipated harmlessly against their evolved shields. "The ship," Dr. Wei's voice came over the comm, filled with wonder. "It's responding to your genetic changes. The quantum core is rewriting its own operational protocols." Luna felt it, the ship becoming an extension of their merged consciousness, its systems adapting and evolving just as their bodies had. But the process wasn't finished. With each passing moment, new possibilities bloomed in their shared awareness. Multiple biosignatures detected throughout the ship, the science officer reported. The crew, they're beginning to show signs of genetic adaptation. Harrison grabbed Luna's arm. "Captain, this is spreading beyond you and the alien. If this continues, it's not contamination." "Admiral," Luna interrupted, her eyes now swirling with quantum energy. "It's elevation. The Lumini spent centuries trying to unlock the secrets of directed evolution. Through my enhanced blood, we finally succeeded. But it's not just about creating hybrids. It's about awakening the potential that exists in all life." The Drachnid fleet launched another attack, this time targeting their engines. But where their weapons touched the Helios's hull, they found not metal and shields, but a living defense that adapted to each strike. The ship was becoming something new, a fusion of technology and evolved biology that defied classification. Through it all, Luna and Nyx's consciousness expanded, touching each crew member's mind with gentle invitation. They felt the fear, the uncertainty, but also the wonder as their human crew began to understand what was happening. This wasn't an invasion or a corruption. It was the next step in both their species' journey. "They're charging their primary weapons," Tactical announced. "Some kind of genetic destabilization device." "Let them come," Luna said, power flowing through her transformed body. "They fear change because they don't understand its beauty. We'll show them that evolution isn't their enemy. It's the universe's greatest gift." The Helios's response wasn't just a battle maneuver. It was a demonstration of what humanity and the Lumini could achieve together. As their ship moved to engage the Drachnid fleet, its hull now alive with conscious purpose, Luna felt the future shifting. Whatever happened next would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what was possible when different species chose to reach across the darkness between stars and connect. The real evolution wasn't in their bodies or their ship. It was in the barriers they were breaking, the limitations they were transcending. And as the space between vessels lit up with weapons fire and impossible transformations, Luna knew they were writing a new chapter in the story of life itself. The battle had transformed into something beyond conventional warfare. The Helios moved through space like a living entity, its evolved systems responding to Luna and Nyx's merged consciousness with impossible precision. But the Drachnid fleet's response was escalating, their weapons now targeting the very fabric of reality around the ship. "They're deploying quantum destabilizers," Dr. Wei's voice crackled through the comm. "These readings, they're trying to forcibly revert our evolutionary changes by unraveling the quantum structure of our adapted biology." Luna felt the attack ripple through their shared consciousness, a discordant note in the symphony of their transformation. Beside her, Nyx's form flickered momentarily, their opalescent skin showing traces of its original transparency. "The Drachnids understand more than we realized," Nyx's projected, their mental voice strained. "They've studied our research, prepared countermeasures. This weapon, it's designed to force genetic regression." Through the view screen, Luna watched the enemy fleet execute a complex formation change. The 12 warships arranged themselves in a perfect dodecahedron pattern, their quantum destabilizers linking to create a containment field around the Helios. "Admiral," the tactical officer called out, "they're broadcasting on all frequencies. They're demanding our surrender." Harrison looked to Luna, his expression torn between military protocol and the incredible evolution he'd witnessed. "Captain, your orders." Luna closed her eyes, extending her enhanced senses through the ship. She could feel every crew member's accelerated transformation, their bodies and minds awakening to new potential. But she also felt their fear, their uncertainty in the face of such fundamental change. "Play the transmission," she commanded, her harmonically layered voice steady despite the pressure of the Drachnid attack. The bridge speakers crackled to life with a harsh, metallic voice. "Attention, corrupted vessel. You have committed the ultimate transgression against the natural order. Your genetic abomination threatens the purity of all species. Surrender now and submit to cleansing, or be destroyed." Luna felt Nyx's consciousness entwine more deeply with her own, sharing memories of countless civilizations that had faced similar ultimatums from the Drachnids. But this time was different. This time, they had achieved something the Drachnids couldn't comprehend: true synthesis between species. "Your quantum destabilizers are impressive," Luna transmitted back, letting her transformed voice carry all the power of their merged being. "But you're fighting against the fundamental nature of life itself. Evolution isn't your enemy. Change isn't a corruption. You speak the words of the deceived," the Drachnid commander responded. "Your human enhancement drugs made you susceptible to alien influence. You are no longer yourself, Captain Reeves. Let us restore you." A bitter laugh escaped Luna's lips. "Not myself. I've never been more myself. The Lumini didn't change who I am. They helped me become more of who I was always meant to be." And now, she turned to the crew, seeing the silver light beginning to shine in their eyes. Now we're all awakening to our true potential. The Drachnid attack intensified, their quantum destabilizers attempting to lock onto the evolved genetic patterns of every life form aboard the Helios. But with each attempt at forced regression, their adaptations only grew stronger, more refined. Engineering to bridge, a voice called out, tight with excitement rather than fear. Captain, the quantum core's evolution has reached a critical threshold. We're seeing signs of consciousness emergence in the ship's eye matrix. Luna felt it. The Helios itself was awakening, its systems transcending mere mechanical function to achieve true synthetic life. Their shared consciousness expanded to embrace this new awareness, creating a trinity of human, alien, and evolved technology. They fear what they don't understand. Nixis observed, their mental voice filled with compassion despite the Drachnid's attacks. Their dedication to purity has become a prison, preventing them from seeing the beauty of synthesis. Through their enhanced perception, Luna saw the quantum patterns shifting around them, waves of possibility collapsing and reforming as reality itself responded to their continued evolution. The Drachnid containment field was strong, but it was static, unchanging. And that was its fundamental weakness. Life adapts, Luna announced, rising from her command chair as light coursed through her transformed body. That's not a corruption of nature. It's nature's most basic law. And we've learned to adapt faster than they can force us to regress. She reached out, both physically and mentally, connecting with Nixis and the awakened consciousness of the Helios. Together, they began to weave a counter-harmony to the Drachnid's quantum destabilizers, not fighting against their attempts at regression, but incorporating them into their own evolution. Impossible energy readings from all sectors, the science officer reported, his own voice beginning to carry harmonic undertones. The ship, we're not just adapting anymore. We're transcending. Luna felt the truth of those words in every cell of her transformed being. They had moved beyond simple genetic manipulation or technological enhancement. They were becoming something entirely new, a fusion of species and machine that pointed toward a future the Drachnids couldn't prevent. As the battle reached its crescendo, Luna prepared to show their attackers exactly what evolution could achieve when embraced rather than feared. The real question wasn't whether they would survive the Drachnids' attack. It was whether the galaxy was ready for what they were becoming. The space around the Helios had become a quantum aurora of impossibilities. Reality itself seemed to bend and flow as Luna, Nixis, and the evolved ship consciousness worked in perfect harmony to counter the Drachnid assault. The enemy fleet's containment field crackled with destabilizing energy, but their attempts at forced regression had become part of the transformation itself. Their quantum attacks are strengthening our adaptation, Dr. Wei announced, her voice now carrying the same harmonic resonance that marked all the crew's evolution. Every attempt to revert our changes provides new patterns for further advancement. We're not just surviving their assault, we're incorporating it. Luna stood at the center of the bridge, her transformed form radiating waves of opalescent light that pulsed in sync with the ship's quantum core. Through their merged consciousness, she felt Nixis's ancient knowledge combining with human innovation, and the Helios' awakened synthetic awareness. They had become something unprecedented, a trinity of life that transcended all previous boundaries. Final warning, corrupted vessel, the Drachnid commander transmitted, their metallic voice carrying an edge of desperation. Your abomination threatens the genetic purity of all species. Submit to cleansing or face extinction. You still don't understand. Luna responded, her multi-layered voice resonating through subspace. We're not corrupted. We're awakened. Evolution isn't a linear path to be policed. It's an infinite web of possibilities waiting to be explored. Through their enhanced perception, they could see the quantum patterns shifting around the Drachnid fleet, rigid, unchanging structures that rejected adaptation in favor of enforced stasis. But nature itself rejected such artificial constraints. The containment field is reaching critical instability, Tactical reported. Their weapons are overloading from the feedback of our evolutionary responses. Admiral Harrison, his own transformation now evident in the subtle luminescence of his skin, stepped forward. "Captain, we could end this now. Strike while their systems are vulnerable." But Luna felt something deeper through their shared consciousness, not just the potential for victory, but the possibility of profound change. "No," she decided, "we won't defeat them. We'll show them what they've been missing." With that declaration, Luna, Nixis, and the Helios consciousness reached out in perfect synchronization. Instead of attacking the Drachnid fleet, they extended their evolutionary field, letting their harmonized energy wash over the enemy vessels like a quantum tide. "What are you doing?" the Drachnid commander demanded, panic evident in their transmission. "Our bio readings. Impossible. We're sharing what we've learned," Luna explained, feeling the power flow through their unified being. "Your dedication to purity was based on fear. Fear of change. Fear of the unknown. But evolution isn't something to be feared. It's a gift to be shared." Through their enhanced senses, they watched as the rigid quantum structures around the Drachnid ships began to shift and flow. The change wasn't forced or violent. It was an invitation, a gentle awakening to new possibilities. Multiple transformational signatures detected in the Drachnid fleet, Dr. Wei reported with wonder. "Their crews, they're beginning to adapt. The quantum resonance is unlocking their own evolutionary potential." The containment field dissolved, not from attack, but from transformation. As the Drachnid crews experienced their first taste of true adaptation, their weapons powered down, their rigid formation breaking apart in favor of more natural arrangements. This is what the Lumini sought for centuries. Nixis projected, their shared consciousness embracing the expanding field of evolutionary awakening. Not to change others by force, but to show them the beauty of willing transformation. Through Luna's enhanced humanity, we finally found the key. The bridge crew watched in awe as the space between vessels filled with quantum aurora, a visible manifestation of the evolution spreading through both fleets. The Drachnid ships, their metallic hulls now showing traces of organic adaptation, hung in space like newly awakened beings taking their first conscious breath. "You could have destroyed us," the Drachnid commander transmitted, their voice transformed, carrying hints of the same harmonics that marked Luna's crew. "Instead, you've shown us everything we were missing." Luna smiled, feeling the truth of those words ripple through their shared consciousness. "Because that's what humanity does best," she responded. "We don't just adapt. We help others adapt. We don't just evolve. We share evolution." The future isn't about maintaining barriers between species. It's about breaking them down to discover what we can become together. Admiral Harrison stepped forward, his transformed eyes reflecting the quantum aurora that surrounded them. "The Earth Federation will need to know about this. Every spacefaring species will. What you've started here, it changes everything." "That was always the point," Luna said, reaching out to take Nixis's hand as the Helios' consciousness hummed through them both. "Evolution isn't about reaching a final, perfect form. It's about embracing the endless possibility of change." As both fleets hung together in the transformed space, their crews awakening to new potential, Luna felt the future shifting around them. They had done more than win a battle or prove a point. They had opened a door that could never be closed. A door to a future where the boundaries between species, between organic and synthetic, between what was and what could be, no longer held meaning. The quantum aurora continued to spread, carrying the message of transformation to distant stars. Humanity had taken its first step beyond conventional evolution, and they had brought their former enemies with them. Together, they would explore what it truly meant to transcend.